In the quaint, picturesque setting of a tiny rural village nestled between the grandeur of towering mountains and the mesmerizing vastness of the azure sea, there existed a vibrant, young soul named Anna. This charming young girl was the gleaming gem of the community, her spirit effusing joy and positivity. She stood defiant and resilient in the face of the singular trials that life had thrust upon her. Our protagonist, Anna, was a unique creation of nature. She was born with a complex network of hardships, a result of a rare genetic disorder called spinal muscular atrophy. This unforgiving condition wreaked havoc on her body, severely curtailing her mobility. Unlike the other sprightly children in her age group who could freely indulge in games and playful frolic, she was held captive by the harsh shackles that her biology and genetics had forged. Her physical self may have been deprived of the ability to run, jump, and play, but her spirit soared high, embodying the tenacity of a true warrior. Even within the confines of her physical constraints, Anna was a force to be reckoned with. She was a reservoir of relentless energy and infectious enthusiasm, a source of inspiration for every soul that was fortunate enough to cross her path. Her eyes, alive with a playful twinkle, and her face perpetually adorned with a radiant smile, were her most powerful charms. That smile, bright and warm, had the power to illuminate the gloomiest corners with its irrefutable optimism. Anna soon emerged as the beacon of hope for her tightly knit community, her life a testament to the power of resilience and courage in the face of adversity. Her physical limitations, far from defeating her, only fueled her indomitable spirit further. A spirit that viewed the world not with bitterness, but with the hope of a brighter, kinder tomorrow. But the world can be a cruel stage where the harsh, bitter realities of life do not differentiate between the strong and the weak, the innocent and the guilty. Our young symbol of hope, Anna, was on the brink of a horrifying ordeal. The narrative takes a gut-wrenching turn when Anna becomes an unwitting, the despicable game of human trafficking. Her disability, rather than being hailed as a testament to her strength, was manipulated for monstrous gains. These heartless individuals, devoid of compassion, saw her vulnerability as a gateway for exploitation. Anna was drawn into a sinister web, her helpless state preyed upon by those who chose to see her strength as a weakness. This criminal act was facilitated by an unsuspecting acquaintance who, lured by a lucrative deal, handed Anna over to a human trafficking network. Anna, the beacon of hope and resilience in her community, was thrust into a world she did not choose, her disability exploited by opportunists blind to her extraordinary. This narrative isn't exclusive to Anna, it echoes across continents, shrouded in societal apathy, a tale of millions burdened with disabilities, unwittingly ensnared into the horrifying abyss of human trafficking. As per the International Labor Organization, ILO, about 40.3 million people are victims of human trafficking globally, with 24.9 million subjected to forced labor and 15.4 million to forced marriages. Human trafficking is often seen as a distant threat, restricted to the chaotic fringes of countries ravaged by war and poverty. This, however, is a stark misperception. It is a global issue, a horrifying epidemic that recognizes no geographical or demographic boundaries. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, reports that 71% of trafficking victims worldwide are women and girls, and 29% are men and boys. It's a heinous crime rooted in human vulnerability, spreading its venomous tendrils with callous disregard. It preys on the weak, the marginalized, the voiceless, remorselessly robbing them of their dignity and dreams. Sadly, individuals with disabilities, with their perceived shortcomings and society's continual neglect, find themselves more vulnerable to this horrendous act. The Global Disability Rights Now organization reports that people with disabilities are 2 to 3 times more likely to be victims of violence and abuse, including human trafficking. They teeter on the precipice, constantly shadowed by the looming specter of human trafficking. It's a crime that thrives on vulnerability, and regrettably, individuals with disabilities often find themselves at a heightened. Now you may wonder, what exactly are these hurdles faced by individuals with disabilities? Disabilities, whether physical or mental, often construct barriers that interfere with various aspects of everyday life, spanning across education, employment, and social integration. In the realm of education, these barriers might come in the form of inaccessible infrastructure, lack of tailored resources, and an absence of understanding from their peers. These challenges could inhibit their learning progress and, ultimately, their academic achievements. Regarding employment, individuals with disabilities might face discriminatory hiring practices, workplaces not equipped with necessary accessibility features, or a sheer lack of job opportunities catering to their unique abilities. This not only marginalizes them economically but also strips them of their self-esteem and independence. Even in social integration, they are often met with a lack of physical access to public spaces, societal prejudice, and a gross misunderstanding of their capacities. These barriers can precipitate feelings of seclusion akin to incarceration, as if invisible chains are holding them back from reaching their full potential. This isolation can also heighten their vulnerability, exposing them to increased risks. In the most severe cases, they become targets for traffickers. It's a grim reality that demands our focused attention and proactive action for change. Indeed, just being aware of these issues is not sufficient. We need to delve into the core of these problems. What are the underpinnings of these barriers? Why do global societies grapple with providing the right support to individuals with disabilities? What perpetuates our negligence towards these urgent issues, allowing vulnerabilities to metastasize? Pondering over these questions is key to comprehending the intricacies of the situation. It's time for us to move beyond mere recognition, to dynamically participate in dismantling walls of bias and discrimination. This could take form in various ways: advocating for a more inclusive environment in your professional sphere, supporting the rights of disabled individuals, or aligning ourselves with organizations that tirelessly work to lend a helping hand to these individuals. Another approach is pledged to learn about and spread awareness on the dreadful reality of human trafficking and its disproportionate impact on the disabled community. Or perhaps it's as straightforward as this: educating oneself and others on the stark truth of human trafficking and its effects on the disabled community. Advancing our understanding of these root causes will catalyze change and guide societal efforts in breaking down these barriers. Remember, progress begins with a solitary stride, a commitment to tangible action. This stride involves not just recognizing the problem of human trafficking, but also taking practical steps to eradicate it. It is more than an isolated problem. It's a reflection of broader societal shortcomings such as gender inequalities, economic disparities, and the violation of basic human rights. This global calamity, a wound on our collective conscience, is hidden in plain sight. It is a clear sign of our society's failure to provide safety and opportunities to its most vulnerable, including individuals with disabilities. And here's how you can help. 1. Raise awareness. Educate yourself and others about the enormity and complexities of the issue. 2. Support organizations. Donate to and volunteer for credible organizations working to combat human trafficking. 3. Advocate changes. Advocate for improved laws and law enforcement to protect vulnerable individuals. 4. Encourage inclusivity and accessibility. Advocate for inclusive policies in workplaces, schools, and communities, ensuring people with disabilities have equal opportunities. By addressing these root causes collectively and proactively, we can pave the way to a world where narratives like Anna's are relegated to history. It is incumbent upon us to deliberate earnestly about this grave matter. We must become agents of change, voices for the voiceless. We should strive to create a world where every individual, especially those with disabilities, is safe from exploitation, and their potential is recognized, their dignity respected, and their humanity cherished. A world where every person is valued for their resilience, capabilities, and personhood. Let's together work for a world that sees every person for their strengths, their potential, and their humanity.